This is home away from home.
Hey! Sa usiku ye huyu Yesu we. Acha niwafunze.
But he says, as for you, hold on to the end, and then you will be saved. How many of you will be faithful to the end? In another way, never forget. Never forget what God has done for you. There is power in remembering. Never forget what God has done for you.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
There is a moment, somewhere between who you are and who you are becoming, when everything you thought will last begins to change. For many, that moment begins here. Campus is more than lectures and deadlines. It is where beliefs are tested, where identity takes shape, and where acquired decisions begin to define a future.
My journey through campus has been, I think it has been really enjoyable. Of course, it's own challenges here and there, but generally I've loved my campus life. I've really loved it. Even as I finish school, the feeling that I have is that at least most of the dreams that I had back in first year, over the years, they have come to pass, and I'm grateful to God for that.
So, of course, I got friends from MCCU. Some of my first friends was actually my first friend of MCCU was Patience Jedeida. Then Aaron Ngore, and of course Esther Mueni. We had there. I came to know Akina Kevu for morning devotions with Barongo there. I used to stay with Steve Logan in Hall 6. Yeah, so I got quite a number of friends as we were coming in.
My friends, they are all amazing, as yours too. And one thing that touched my heart is when I was turning 21. Yes, on my 21st birthday. I remember it was on Sunday, and that time I didn't have money. So Bore took me out. Bought me food, bought me good food, drinks. We had fun and we really enjoyed. And for me, that's touched my heart since, hey man, sijipelekwa out. I'm saying, like, it was my first time, and I really enjoyed that date, and it really touched my heart, and it really showed me the importance of good friends.
For some, faith was inherited, a routine, a rhythm. However, here, it became something else, something questioned, something wrestled with, something chosen.
God has been leading me through it, because fourth year is a time where there are so many anxiety. You're so anxious about life. You're so uncertain about what's going to happen to you when you finish school. And I had these worries at the beginning of my fourth year, 4.1. Because in third year, I have a failed political career, and now I'm in 4.1, where I have to focus on studies, and of course I'm anxious after school, where am I going? And I think fourth year, I have been really trusting God for many things. And one of the prayers I had at the beginning of this year, because at the beginning of this year we're getting to 4.2, is that God to lead me through this journey. And I remember when you see the way people write resolutions. At the beginning of this year, I went and bought a notebook, like a small notebook, and I wrote there by April that I'm trusting in God. By April, I should have a job, and I should at least have a source of income, among other things. And I'm grateful to God because I think on the 9th of March, I got my first job, and also around the same time, I applied to be a commissioner in the election. And these were answered prayers. And I think just an encouragement to us and even to fellow fourth-years is that despite the anxieties that we have, the worries that we have, everyone is going through this stage. There's no one who's not anxious about what's going to happen to them. I think we should entirely rely on God, because myself, I'm a testimony. I wrote it down, I trusted God, I prayed over it, and I think God answered the prayers that I was taking to Him.
However, faith alone did not buy food or solve tomorrow's uncertainty. So they learned to account for everything, every coin, every decision, every sacrifice.
I have 3 accounts. So there's one that has my blocked savings, there's one that have my emergency savings, there's one that from my daily in and out. So that's one thing that I did when I was joining that year. And then at the same that year, I used to have something called MMF, Money Market Fund. So we used to save our money there.
And through it all, there were people, the ones who stayed, the ones who laughed when things made no sense, and the ones who reminded you who you were when you almost forgot.
And for me, my friends have played a major role in my campus journey. In terms when I'm worried about some things, I can consult my friends. In terms when if I need anything, I can ask my friends. And they have been coming through for me every single time. And there are friends who have helped. One of the friends I've helped is Alex Lee. Alex, back in first year, he thought he could sing. But then I went and sat him down and advised him and told him that we can serve God differently. We don't have to everyone serve God through singing.
Leadership came not as a title but as a weight, expectations, responsibility, pressure, and sometimes failure.
Serving as a chair, I could start with my worst moments. There is a time we got a bit of I wouldn't call it a conflict really, but there was a drift with the elders by then, with the executive committee and the elders, and the elders really drifted. Those guys, we gonna beef now bado hadi sahi. Some of them left, and I was like, yo, you've just left me here to, who am I going to consult? And of course, by the help of God, we were able to call for a meeting with the elders. We discussed what was the issues, and we were able to rectify.
The journey was never about having all the answers. It was about becoming the kind of person who keeps going anyway.
My parting shot, I'll say, love one another, serve Christ purposefully, and make sure that whatever you do, wherever you go, you defend the name of Christ. Be good ambassadors of Jesus Christ. I love you so much. Stay grounded and mbele kuzuri. Bye bye. See.
Manze, naijua ya leo Fiki sana ukaje? Unanikalia fresha?
Mimi fresha bana.
Umetoka wapi?
Kutoka Kisii bana.
Umetoka Kisii? Nice, welcome to UON. Usaidizi?
Sio da portal. Nafaa kulipa bila sijui.
Hauna portal?
Sina portal.
Fanya aje, naweza kusaidia. Uko na 5 so?
Nimekuwa 5 ya sapa bana.
Sasa hiyo mimi ndo nauza portal huku hivi. Naweza kujenga. Aya, weka kwa hii namba. Pochi. Sawa, pochi. 0751 27 62 39. Jina ni Kimani. Hiyo sasa. Hiyo portal cha kujenga sana. Ukai kukosa portal. Ni sawa. Imekaa kwa simu. Sasa unaona kufika mess, unapita hivi. Unaenda hivi mess. Acha nikulink na msata kufikisha mess na so. Acha nipigia na kama. Shapo iko fiti? Naona umewahi. Hii ndugu yako iko na mafuta? Si ndio hivyo. Fikisha huko hivi. Ndio cafeteria. Cafeteria na mess. Mfikishe na so. Hivi kugonga ni mzuri huyo.
What was the worst experience you had on your first day of campus?
And did you ask for someone for help to do your registration, and in return they ask you for some money?
Did you walk in circles just to find where ED building is?
But by God's grace, you find a table written Main Campus Christian Union, which helped to navigate free of charge.
And for donation, you can reach out to Joyce through her number displayed on the screen. Remember, every contribution counts. Let's make 2026 orientation impactful. See you there.